Right, all right, all
Good
right.
day, good day, good day, good
Hello,
people.
beautiful people.
Yes, the
This is the
Tampa.
Tampa family. Yes. We want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to the beautiful, wonderful, our, what you call them? Our,
Brother from another mother and sister from another mister.
there we go. Yes.
Yes,
Mr. and Mrs. Tyrone and Michelle Walker. We love you guys. Thank you for this opportunity.
yes, yes,
And we
yes.
appreciate everybody who are attending the marriage retreat in Tampa. Blessings to
Yes,
all.
yes, hands down. So we're going
Yes.
to get into this.
Yes, yes, yes.
Go ahead and
I'm going to share
let's
our
see here, share
screen.
our screen
Yes.
there for you. Oh, all
Mm-hmm.
right. So here we are. We are celebrating 26-year anniversary with Houston's first annual National Marriage Week, right?
Yes. In the 26 years of anniversary is who?
Yes, it's ours.
Ours. High five.
Glorious years.
Yes. What kind of
26
years? What was
glorious,
that? All
glorious
right.
years.
Glorious.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
So listen, we are also the parents of six wonderful daughters, right?
Yes, let it simmer right there, babe. They gotta capture this. Y'all see all of that estrogen? It's his fault.
Listen, I was an innocent bylayer. I was an innocent bylayer. I felt a sharp pain in the back of my head and I blacked out. When I come to, I realized virtue had gone from me.
Ladies, we know better.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
That he does.
All right. So we are the founders of ericandelaine.com. Please
Yes,
visit the site. We look forward to serving you, book an
absolutely.
appointment, so on and so forth. And we are the founders of Optimum Lifestyle Community
Mhm.
Development Corporation, where we are developing a relationship, a positive relationship
Positive
culture in our community
and beyond.
and beyond. All right.
Yes.
Then we are also the authors of
Manage your
Optimum
marriage. Manage your marriage.
Manage Your Marriage,
Master
Master
the
the
workplace.
Workplace. Yes, yes, yes. So you can get that book on Amazon.com or
Or at ericandelaine.com.
ericandelaine.com. All right.
Absolutely.
Get your shirts. We represent our Black Love Matters. We are
Yes. Black
working
Love
on
Matters
the Black Love Matters
campaign.
campaign,
Hmm.
being that, you know, since this pandemic, we have been disproportionately impacted
Hmm.
financially, and it's putting, in some cases, families are like, there's an issue, you know, no money, no honey kind of thing,
Mm.
that's happening, and some domestic violence things are happening in our
Yeah,
community, and we can't afford to function in that regard
mm,
at all,
absolutely.
you know.
Yeah, because domestic violence has risen to an all-time high across the country, right across the
Hmm.
nation,
Hmm.
as well as crime. So,
Hmm.
marriage is important.
Marriage is important. So,
Hmm.
anyway, so intimacy.
Mm. Intimacy is not purely physical. It's the act of connecting with someone so deeply you
Hmm.
feel like you can see into their soul. You like
Ooh,
that? Shall I say it again?
ah,
Intimacy is
because
not purely physical. No, intimacy is actually being able to be connected, right? So deeply that you feel like you can see into their
another soul.
soul.
Ooh,
Mm.
wee. Ooh, wee. That's good stuff, y'all. That's good
Yes.
stuff. So it's beyond physical. Is that's the message?
Bottom line.
Because I bet most of you probably thought, intimacy. Yes,
Mm.
bound chicken, wow, wow.
Hey.
No, had a little Marvin Gaye playing,
All right.
right?
All right. All right. All right.
For some sexual healing. But no, it's deeper than that. So, and that's what we're
Absolutely.
going to talk about tonight, right?
Hmm.
We're going to get into that.
Yes. I put my lookers on.
Put your lookers on. All right. So the things that we're going to talk about tonight is exploring. Yeah, you may something that turns you on before may not turn you on now, right? Being able
Yeah,
to be okay with that and to open other doors.
absolutely. And, self-care. We have to look at how we are caring for ourselves because before we can care for others, we all know this. We have to do what? We have to take care of self first.
That's right. That's a part of intimacy. And then you take action. Okay. Once you are have evaluated yourself, you've recharged yourself. Now you can go and present yourself to your partner. Okay. So let's look at exploring. So exploring is what?
Exploring who we are
Yeah. Oh, you as a
today.
person first,
Yes, we got to
personally.
do, yeah, well, you're right. So we
Yeah.
explore who I am
Hmm.
as a person, and then we explore who we are
Together.
together
Hmm.
because it's important to know, first of all, who are you and what is it that you like? What is it that you want? We tell couples all the time, you cannot know what you want if you don't, or know what you won't know if it comes if you don't know what it is that you want.
That's right.
What is it that I'm looking for? So know who you are, where you are today, because again, Eric is not the same man that I married 26 years ago,
Hmm.
and I'm not the same woman. So
Correct.
we change over time. So get into that understanding and explore that dynamic of what it is that you want and you need so that you can be able to communicate that.
Hands down.
And then the both of you together can even explore where we want to go from here.
That's right.
How deep do you want to go?
That's right. That's right. And taking care of our covenant, hands
That's
down.
it.
All right. So, alone time. Now, this is not what you think it means, but if you look at the picture, the picture is talking about self care. Now, I know this is one of Elaine's self care things, and this,
Absolutely.
to go and get a massage, or spa kind of like things.
Calgon, take me
Yes.
away.
Matter of fact, with the extreme makeover, asked me, what would she like, and I was like, put her a nice bathtub in there. If you haven't seen the show, go on and look at the show at ericandelaine.com. You'll see it on
Yes.
the about page, as well as when they came back
Thank you,
to
baby.
see us. Yes,
He
because I know
did.
that's what she
He
loves
did. He
and
told
everything.
me.
But it's the alone time self care piece where you're meeting your emotional needs and you're being in contact with yourself and you
Yes.
recharge.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, recharging means that the motorcycle, I ride a motorcycle. And that time is the time where I just debrief,
Yes.
and really go on.
Absolutely. And so, of course, he has the motorcycle, right?
Hmm.
That's the reason why we got him the motorcycle, was for him to enjoy it. So the self time that he enjoys, when he comes home, he's able to give to me the best of him.
What I say when I come home?
He walks through the door and he says, "Where's my wife?" He's ready for me, y'all.
Where my wife?
Where my wife, right? And so, of course, I love for him to go and have his alone time, his self care.
Hmm.
That's what the motorcycle is for him. And we had a situation where several years back, he came home and he was like, "Baby, you know what? I'm gonna take care of the girls. You go out and get you something and just have a
Go
good
have some
time.
coffee or
Go have
something.
some coffee, some tea."
Some tea or something. Some chai
Go
tea.
get you something to eat and all that. And I said, "No,
Y'all
y'all
go.
leave," right? Because that's me. My alone time is different than his.
Hmm.
I like, to get in my tub and just, Calgon, take me away. Y'all remember
Hmm.
that commercial,
Hmm.
right? If you're old
Hmm.
enough to remember, you remember, except the millennials, right?
Right.
But everybody else, you remember, right? And so know what it is that is the thing that rejuvenates you,
Hmm.
that gives you that boost.
Hobbies. It could be just hobby or something
Yes.
like that. And
Yes.
I will add in there because it's going to come up in the next slide is that um, as you can see, the man in the picture is
Mm-hmm.
there with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Go on the other side sometimes,
Yeah.
guys. It's alone time if you're invited. And the same the way women, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and no boundaries too. See, because I had envisioned me and Elaine riding a motorcycle together. Well, for you who don't know, Elaine was in an accident years prior,
Mm-hmm.
right? So she was in an accident years prior, and that is a form of trauma that it takes time, to heal from that.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever, it's always going to lead to a level of anxiety. Not
Mm-hmm.
that she's not healed from it, but it's anxiety. So to expect her to ride the bike with me, you know, it's like, no, bro. She was in a car accident where she died twice,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
had to learn how to walk all over again.
All over again.
Why would you want to put her on the back of a motorcycle and
With no doors,
you
no metal, no, just y'all,
sitting on the only piece of metal, and that might be
y'all feel
fiberglass.
me? But that's what he had
Yeah.
envisioned when he,
Yes. But
wanted the
I
motorcycle.
adjusted that. No, I don't
Yeah.
want her to, I do not want my wife to be anxious and,
Mm-hmm.
and have that type of anxiety as
Mm-hmm.
I'm, blazing down the freeway,
He's enjoying,
yeah, I'm enjoying,
and
but
I'm
she's nervous and everything. Her nervousness can cause us to have an accident,
well,
you know,
yeah,
and everything. So know those boundaries as well.
absolutely.
But again, in areas where you can go and explore
Yeah, do
with
so.
them, and be with them.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I knew she liked was theater. One of her birthdays, I gave her in Mother's because her birthday sometimes falls on Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So and no, I don't get to get one gift, guys. So,
Yeah, he can't cheat.
so
You can't
yeah,
cheat it by
so
getting
that's
one gift.
cheating.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I took her to a theater, and I was expecting to go to sleep. I really was. Even when she took us to the front row, I
Y'all.
was expect. I had a 3 nod rule, and on that third nod, I wasn't coming back up. I wasn't gonna come back up, and I wind up enjoying it and was upset when it ended.
Talk about it. What did I do?
Yes,
I changed your
you
what?
changed my life.
Changed his life.
Changed my life.
Yes.
So
So getting into each other's
yeah,
world, right?
yeah,
Meeting each
yeah,
other's emotional needs
hands
is a
down.
part of intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, here we go with taking action, right?
Yeah.
We're going to continue to look at the action of what we can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about being purposeful, being mindful, and doing those things that are necessary, not just required, but just let's look at it
Just
as
things are necessary.
necessary. It's just necessary for us to be able to thrive, right? Because we want lifetime love. Anybody in here want
That's right.
lifetime love? I believe and perceive that I see every hand up, right?
Right.
So intentional is what we must do to say, you know what? I'm going to do some new things, right?
That's right.
We're going to do some new things together. We're going to put some things on the calendar and say, hey, let's try this. You know what? Let's go and let's exercise together.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that is really, really, it's becoming a phenomenon, especially during this pandemic. But not only that, it is simply something that we all can say, this is our thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to look at what you can do that will become our thing. And know this, we know that intimacy is always in the battle against the stressors of life, right? You got time is always needed by somebody or
Work,
somewhere. Yes, some place to be, something to do, right? We got the stressors of just being tired all the time, right?
parents.
Parenting and all those different things, demands. But again, this is where we are able to look at our covenant
Mm-hmm.
as the first ministry, which is the call that we agreed to when we said I do.
That's right.
And so this is where we call it the self-sacrifice as well, right?
Hmm.
We talked about the self-care, and then we go into the action of even sometimes making those sacrifices for the sake of where the covenant is
Yes, where we want to go
and
in
where
that
the
covenant.
covenant is going.
That's right. So how do we break out of the drought, the
Mm,
rut that we're in,
yes. So
if we find ourselves there?
because sometimes you will.
Yeah.
Let's be
You got to
honest.
wake up and look up like, wait a minute, wait, wait, wait,
How
wait,
did we
wait.
get here?
Uh, we got to do something different.
Yeah, yeah.
Something got to be
And what there's my husband does this character called Deacon Halifax, right?
done. Hmm.
And he's just this character that that emerges from time to time, but he says something phenomenal.
Yeah, about people. He was talking to a couple of young pastors, and he told them, "Listen here, gentlemen, Deacon Halifax here.
Get ready, y'all.
Deacon Halifax, building churches is the game. Don't put nothing in the plate, can't get out the gate. Understand? You young people are not getting it here. That what you must do, you must have to understand that you can't keep the fire burning with the same log. Understand?
That
Some of y'all gonna get that when you get to the house.
that'll preach though. That'll
Yes.
that'll preach. What you say, D?
What see what they're trying to do is this. Is they trying to keep the fire
Mm,
burning
mm-hmm.
with the same log.
With the same law.
That don't work. It doesn't. It's ashes. It's
That's right.
ashes.
That's
You
right.
gotta have a new log, and each log don't look the same.
Yeah.
So, in going back and what we were saying earlier, discover what's going on new with you.
Yes.
You are an evolving, or should be evolving.
Yes.
The scripture talks
Absolutely.
about glory to glory.
Mm,
Okay, if we're going glory to glory, and we've said it in, many times that different levels, different devils. Understand? Okay, well, if we're doing that and we're excelling, then that should be new levels
mm-hmm.
to in ourselves. We should have
Yes.
gained unto ourselves and expanded in our emotional state,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual state, um, our physical state. So a lot of times we focus mostly on the physical, just like
Yeah.
this. We've so focused on the physical and miss out what's the most important. So
Mm,
we have to take the time to see what can I think differently about. What are
yes.
some things I can do differently? And
Yes.
then proclaim them. These are some things I can do, and I'll change that and do differently. And I will
Mm-hmm.
be intentional about keeping my
Intentional.
love alive. So I'm not looking, you're not looking like this guy. See, this guy, something he ain't been doing. So he's missed it,
And if you
you
can't
know.
read it, it says, he's saying, I'm guessing you are not in the mood. And there's a barbed wire fence in the middle of the bed.
Hmm.
And she's got barbed wire around every single body part, right? So, what we see on this picture is not what we want to aspire to have, right? So, intimacy, and just like what Eric said, what can he do differently, right? So many times we can feel as though we can feel like, you know what, there are things that just it's just not right. Like, don't can't my spouse see that I'm tired? Can't my honey love, can't he understand, or can't she recognize what is actually happening? Like, I am stressed beyond measure. All of this that's happening in the world, in the craziness of from politics to spiritual matters, it is haywire, right? And we're all feeling the effects of all of these things. But let's look at what is already still in motion, and that is the Father's desire and design for us as His bride, right? The covenant. We are needed so greatly in this time. And here's the thing, look at what you can think differently about, even though we have all of these factors. And yes, we know that there are so many things that we can seemingly fall out of love in. And Eric and I, we really don't like that term, because most times we tell couples, you shouldn't be falling in love. because there's never been anything about falling that has I have looked at or we have looked at that has been good with falling. I don't know about you. So let's kind of stay away from that. But we do want to recognize that we can have the relationship of our dreams. You really can. We are intended to. And so look at what can I think differently about? What are some things that I can do differently
That's right.
to help me to have the covenant that I know is important for me to be exhibiting to the world in this day and this hour, right? And then be intentional about keeping that love strong and alive.
Being inspired, but not
Yes.
quite like this. Now,
Woo.
millennials don't know about Dr. Ruth. So most of you, there, if you're 45 and over, you know who Dr. Ruth is. She's a sex
Yes.
therapist.
Mhm.
So here's a note that a lady wrote to Dr. Ruth.
She says, "Dear Dr. Ruth, I'm writing to tell you my problem. It seems I have been married to a sex maniac for the past 22 years. He makes love to me regardless of what I am doing, ironing, washing dishes, sweeping, etc. I would like to know if there is anything you, well,
Can't read the rest of that. Something
something
happened.
got a hold to her, and it wasn't the Holy Ghost.
Something happened. And now I know.
Yes.
Hmm. All right. So we're
So,
not just talking about that type of
not
thing,
just
just
talking
not
about
just
that.
the sex piece, but we're
Yes.
talking about all of it. Consider
Mm,
all types of intimacy. Now,
yes.
notice here how intimacy is shown here. Let's start just at the bottom,
Mm,
which is the foundation:
foundation.
spiritual and financial intimacy, sharing
Absolutely.
religious beliefs, observe religious practice or whatnot. And we know that if we are the people of Scripture, that
Hmm.
we don't have a religion, we have a covenant. So we continue in our
That's good.
covenant,
That's good.
right? The financial intimacy, sharing of your financial situation as you develop a plan
Mm,
for your finances,
hmm.
right? In the beginning of the week, we talked about sharing your, having your SMART goals, right?
Yeah.
And we really went into that information. So
And then we have to look at recreational intimacy, right? Recreational intimacy when we're spending time, well, not spending time,
investing time.
investing time with one another, right?
Hmm.
In activities that the both of you enjoy and doing things like Eric said, going to events with one another. Now we know a lot of things that we can't do during this time, but there are some things that we still can do. Free walks, y'all. Walks are
Hmm.
still free,
Yep.
whether it's to the park or y'all in Tampa to the beach.
Hmm.
You know,
Clear water. Clear
okay,
water.
clear water, right?
I went to that other spot and the water was brown. Wasn't happy
Well,
with
that's all right, baby. That's all right. But
that.
also intellectual intimacy, right? We had
Yes.
a woman who came to one of our workshops. She says, "I love it when my husband makes love to my mind," right?
Yes.
And so this is another way to develop a mutual understanding, to give those important issues that you have in your marriage, give them time to be spoken of and discussed and given dialogue about,
Hmm.
and to just have that where you are able to get it off of your thoughts and get it out of your head, right?
Hmm.
But also, this is not that I want to talk about the problem, but I just want to talk about the future.
That's
I
right.
want to talk about our hopes and our dreams.
Yes.
Can do you still dream as a couple?
Yeah. And you know what? What's interesting is that if we spend more time talking about the negative, that's why we think, whenever we think of our spouses, we
Yes.
think negative.
Negatively. Yeah.
And somebody outside, because we don't talk to them about any of the issues,
Mm.
you get to looking, you
Yeah.
get the talking, you get the this and the that. But the common denominator is you,
You.
right? So, a quick
Hmm.
story, the young lady had a son who was cutting up in school and
Mhm.
everything. And I just asked her, was only by the Spirit, asked her, so do you talk to him outside of you correcting him?
Right.
And she said, "Ooh, I never thought about that." I say, probably not. I say, what's his favorite color? She didn't know.
Mm.
What is he into? She
Her
didn't
own
know.
son.
Her
Yeah.
own son. And she was a single mother of I want to say 4 boys.
Mm.
She was a single mother of 4 boys. So her hands are full and everything. And so I told her, I say, I dare you to find out what he likes and
Mm.
talk to him about what he likes.
Yeah.
And I dare you to find out what his favorite color is and just get to know him,
Him.
right?
Yeah.
And I say, because right now, children, they want to be accepted. The reason why kids go into games, they want to feel like they have a family. They want to be a part of something.
Yep.
So if you take the time to talk to him
Mm-hmm.
outside of correction, your correction is going to go
Outside of
down,
discipline.
and your talking will go up, and he would do better in school. Well, that
Yeah.
young man, his grades, he was failing in school and everything. His grades turned around when she
Yeah.
changed that.
Yeah.
And my understanding is the boy is serving in the military right now and doing well,
Yes. Yes.
doing well, because she decided to change
Mm.
the way she was. So as couples, if we if all we talk about is the stuff that we don't like,
Yeah. Yeah.
if even in the self-care piece, if we're only musing and meditating on what we don't like,
Mm.
you're going to continue
You're
to
gonna have it.
have what you don't like.
Absolutely. And there's power in your words. We've all
Hands
heard this,
down.
but really, the power of this tongue, we can speak life. If we can
That's
speak
right.
death, then guess what? You
You
can
can
also
speak
speak
life.
life. That's one of the things that I do in this
Ooh,
covenant.
because that's
I speak every time
oh.
my family leaves out of the door. I speak a blessing over them. I say,
Mhm.
you are blessed, you are covered, you are protected and
And preserve.
preserved. And where you are, there
That's
is safety.
safety.
And we agree, and they walk out of that door. And one day I made the mistake of not saying it. And one of my daughters,
Hmm.
she called back and she
She
said,
calls her.
Mama, you didn't give me my blessing today,
Hmm.
as she was driving down the street. And so again, we are so expecting of the Father to use our words to form what we want to see in even in our marriage. We're not telling you that it's easy. We know that it can get hard, but we have a responsibility, y'all, to have increased intimacy by doing these other types of things that's going to cause us to be connected
Hands
in a
down.
more powerful and intimate and deeper way than it is just on the surface. And that's what we want. We want lifetime love. Am I right?
That's it.
We want that lifetime love. And so this is, of course, we spoke about emotional and physical intimacy. We know physical intimacy, right?
Hands down.
Know that it is all it's even beyond just like what we keep continuing to say is it's beyond just sex, but there are other small ways, right?
Hmm.
Just
Simple
touching
ways.
on the shoulder,
Hmm.
right? Rubbing the
Pat pat.
back.
What you say there? Pat pat. I like the pat pat.
Eric will stand, he'll be standing, in the room or in the kitchen or whatever, and I'll just walk by and I'll just give him a little pat pat, just
Smack
give
a
him a
smack.
little
Smack
pat
a
pat,
smack.
and just keep on walking. And if you are desiring something, if because here's the thing, sometimes we feel like I'm not getting my needs met. Well, sometimes give what you want to receive.
Hmm.
You plant the seed, sow the
Mm.
seed so that you can reap the harvest and make it known. I like
Hmm.
this. And
Hmm.
so the more you do this, you'll get it back.
Hmm. Now
And
that's what that book say.
that's the promise.
That's what the book say.
And if both of you are in tune and looking to keep this in alignment with him,
Hmm.
you will not fail one another because
Mm.
you will not fail him.
Hmm.
So that's the key.
That's the key, y'all.
Mm.
That is the key. So emotional closeness, sharing your feelings and your thoughts. I mean, think about it. When you were dating, that was
Mm.
that was easy to do,
Right.
you know.
Yes.
And then we lead on it over into the physical, and the
Mm-hmm.
physical is not always just the act of sex. So I think we beat that real good. We beat that thing real good.
Y'all got that?
Y'all, did you get it? Okay, you have a spiritual obligation
Yes.
right now. You understand? We've said it for years that we've been in the end times or whatnot, but um, now we have the prophecies that um, that support that claim now. Understand? A real quick story about the during the extreme makeover. Um, the extreme makeover, we had several couples that were on the show. If you haven't watched the show, you can go and look at the show online. It's at ericandelaine.com, our about page. But you know, after after the show, we got hit.
Mm-hmm.
All of us, all every marriage that was on there got hit,
Yep.
and I had to snap, you know, be smacked around by the spirit, say, you just went against the whole agenda of this world
Mm-hmm.
around the world
Mm-hmm.
of healthy marriage, and you thought that the opposer, the enemy,
Mm-hmm.
Hasatan,
Mm-hmm.
Azazel, was not going to say anything, was not going to hit back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got into a really dark place. There's some things that the builders didn't do, you know, was supposed to do, and had to call them and get them, you know, to finish up and whatnot. And one of the couple that got the um,
The
we went to
makeover.
dinner
Mm-hmm.
with a couple that got the makeover in Kima, and she shared some things. You know, it was just that just fed my the negativity.
She was pouring
That
it. What
oh,
do
she
you
was
do?
pouring, and
He was just drinking it
I
all,
was
y'all.
just gobbling it down, y'all.
And I was praying.
And
I
my
was
yeah,
covering him.
Lane was covering, and it was rough. But all of our couples, we had to let them know. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
you just did something in the spirit realm
Yes.
that ticked off the principalities.
Come on.
So expect right now, the
Mm-hmm.
son of perdition has shown himself
Mm-hmm.
according to the scripture. The son of perdition has shown himself, and we are totally in the last, not the end of the world,
Mm-hmm.
but we are in the end of this age. Because if you know anything about eschatology, Israel carries on and the world carries on
Mm-hmm.
or whatnot. But there are some things that are coming into play. Any challenges that you have in your relationship,
Yeah.
understand
Mm-hmm.
that this thing is getting real, and you have a spiritual obligation
Yeah.
to be an example
Yeah.
of the mystery of the church, the
Yes.
mystery of Christ and the church.
Yes. Yes. Mm.
Understand?
Whew.
So
And let me add this.
get you
Even,
some.
yeah, I got to give me some. It ain't about you.
It ain't.
It ain't about you. It ain't about me. It's about the Father's desire in the earth. Because in the end, we know who wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even in this marriage thing, we're not each other's enemy. Know that
Mm-mm.
you are not each other's enemy,
Mm-mm.
but there is an opposer to everything that the Father has created that is good. There is an opposer. We just have to be wise enough to recognize his strategies.
Mm-hmm.
His the scripture says, know the
The
wiles
wiles
of
of
the
the
enemy.
enemy.
That means know his strategies. He's studying us. Y'all know
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan McReynolds' song?
Mm-hmm.
Which one is it? Um,
Um, cycles.
Cycles.
Cycles. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sing it, baby.
No, no, no. I ain't gonna do
Okay, you ain't gonna do that to the people.
that.
But cycles, right?
Yes.
He talks about the enemy knows he's studying you. So we have to recognize that he is studying us. He already looks at what you ain't doing and what you did do, and he's pacing what you're about to do or going to think about doing.
Mhm.
But you and I have the responsibility, as Eric
We
is
have the
saying,
power.
to speak life into this living organism, which is the covenant, right?
Yes.
And we have a responsibility to show the world
Hmm.
that this thing it really is a good thing.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
Hands down.
hands
So, what
down.
good did the Messiah shed his blood to give you the keys to the kingdom, that
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever you bound on earth is bound in heaven.
Yes.
Whatsoever you loose in
Loose.
earth is loosed in heaven. He's
Yes.
giving you dual citizenship for you to blow it over the fact that your wife did something that you didn't like and you dwelled on it, or your husband didn't do something that you, or
Don't do that.
they no, don't do it.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
All
As the
right?
young people say, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
All right. So that's enough. So we didn't expect to go into all that. We went off script.
Yes.
But anyway, we wanted to encourage our people,
Yes.
encourage those who are have taken
Committed.
on that mantle and committed to
Yeah.
relationships, expressing since the beginning of time what his design for man and woman was, being
Yes.
fruitful and multiplying and subduing this earth,
Yes.
right?
And your
Ruling and
legacy,
reigning.
your legacy, your legacy, your legacy.
Yes,
They're watching you.
they're watching.
They're watching.
Whether they're your blood-born or
Or
others.
others.
So
They're
anyway,
watching.
Elaine, we're gonna let
Be
these
thou
people go so
encouraged.
they can go
Yes.
and enjoy the rest of the
Yes.
evening.
Because we're going to go and enjoy ours.
Yeah, yes.
Oh my. See this? Intimacy. Y'all see this?
Hey, we've
Peace
been
and
talking about it.
blessings,
Ain't no
y'all.
sense in
Okay,
not
you're right.
you know, we gotta be about what we gotta be. We gotta be intentional, Elaine.
We do
And we're
have to
gonna
be
intentionally
intentional. I
get
don't
off of this
mind.
call with y'all.
I don't
Peace
mind.
and blessings.
We going to be intentional, y'all. Peace and blessings.